Hello and welcome. In today's video, we're doing another WIP and Chat. This one's going to be a little bit different because I wanted to be comfy while I embroidered and I wanted to pop on some videos. So we're going to be doing the chat part as voiceover, but you can still embroider along with me. It's still going to be real-time embroidery. It's just I'm not talking as I embroider, and that's the only difference. So grab your project, grab a snack, grab whatever you want as we get comfy and cozy to embroider together. So we are back with our second WIP and Chat, and we are still working on my Gallivant portrait, the portrait of my cat. His name's Gallivant. We've gotten a lot more progress done, and it's actually starting to look like him, and I've been wanting to work on this more and more. Like, by the time we finish this little WIP and Chat, I was like, I don't want to stop embroidering, but I need to stop the recording because otherwise it's going to be like a 2-hour long video. Because I just kept embroidering. After I stopped the video, I kept going, and the part that we're covering right now is like the big major dark spot on him. And that's basically done now. But it's not done in the video. Not done by a long shot, which is a little bit of a bummer because I want there to be like lots of progress in these videos, but embroidery just takes time. Embroidery is not quick. And especially when I'm embroidering a big section and I'm doing it like how I do it by spreading out the stitches and filling them in, it doesn't look very impressive. But it's coming together, it's starting to look like him, and it's just exciting because in the beginning, when I first started this, it took me a long time to really get going with it because I was just so intimidated. I was wanting to add detail and get all the different colors that he has in his fur, and it's just so intimidating because I've never done anything like this. And whenever I was doing the orange sections, I was like, oh no, I've messed this up. It looks bad, but trusting the process, and it's looking more and more like him. And now I'm just excited. Not scared anymore. I'm just excited for it to be done so then I can like show it off. So I'm trying a new setup here. It's a little bit further away, and my hand is kind of blocking the stitches at different points in this video, but I don't know, I'm just testing things out, figuring out what's the best angle, because unless I get a GoPro and attach that thing to my forehead, we're gonna have a struggle with the camera needing to be center and my body also needing to be center so we can properly embroider. So it's gonna be interesting to see how we solve that. So this is just an attempt. And I kind of like this angle because it's like you're embroidering right beside me. And you can see Mowgli in the background, which is my dog. And then also at times you'll be able to see Tad Cooper, which is my bearded dragon, off in the back, just hanging out on his little sunning rock. So yeah, I kind of like this angle, but this angle doesn't give you a good up close and personal to the stitches. So it's gonna look like I'm embroidering with the exact same color this exact same time, or this entire time, but I'm not. I'm using a mixture of black, a dark gray, a dark brown, and then a slightly lighter gray, but still kind of dark. Because this whole back section, like I said before, is just dark gray, if not, it's not fully black, but it's, in the photo, it looks very much darker than the rest of his body. So, yeah. Something I've been thinking about a lot recently, and I'm just trying to come to terms with and really decide what I think about this and like how this affects me, and kind of changing my mindset and like rewiring my brain against some of the harmful hustle culture, progress is everything type of mindsets, is being a multi-passionate person and accomplishing goals. What that looks like, because it definitely doesn't look the same as what having a one-track mind and a workaholic working towards one goal, and then you accomplish that goal and you move on to the next one. I'm very much have lots of goals, and I start and stop them very erratically, because that's just one of the side effects of enjoying a lot of different things and wanting to push myself in a lot of different areas. And sometimes I can feel like a failure because I haven't progressed as far as other people have. I'm also trying to do so much more, and yet I'm still measuring myself in the same ways as people who are just doing one thing at a time. I have lots of goals for lots of things that I love. My business, my small business of embroidering people's pets, writing a book, learning Korean, learning a whole new language, completing different collections that I have, creating amazing art just in general, and like all these different mediums, filming and making videos, just so many different things. And my interests are oftentimes like a merry-go-round. They'll come and be full force to where it's like all I can think about of one specific thing, and it becomes a hyper fixation. And then it kind of moves around the merry-go-round, and I don't see it. I don't really think about it as much. But then there's something else that I see and I'm fully think about and I'm fully focused in on. And then there's sometimes when I'm not really focused on anything or hyper fixated on anything. And so then I'm just like, see all these different things and get reminded of all the different ones as they come back around on the merry-go-round. And so then I try to do them all. Like, I could probably be able to speak, not fluent, but super conversational Korean if I focused in on it really hard. I know I could. I have the drive, I have the passion, I have the capabilities of learning and growing within me. I know I could do it. I know I could make my business thrive and be as successful as I want it to be. I know I could write that book. I know I could get it out there into the world. But trying to do all these three things at the same time with all the same intensity, it's just not possible. That's what drove me into burnout in the first place, of trying to do all the things. You can't do all the things. But being a multi-passionate person, I want to do them all. And the idea of picking just one hurts just as much as not being able to complete any of the tasks. So it's a lose-lose in that regard. Like, my life would look so different if I just had one hobby or if I just had one goal. But also, would I want that? If I was to actually sit down and compare my life right now to what it would be if I just had a one-track mind, do I actually want that? It would be so much easier I'd be able to progress and people would be able to see my skills and my dedication and all this stuff. But that's all external stuff. So I don't think I would actually want that, because the only reason I would want that is for other people and their validation and their ability to view me as successful. But I don't need them to view me as successful. And the only reason I want that is because of hustle culture and how people view progress and how people view stopping. Because I start and stop a lot of things. Not because I don't want to do it anymore, but just because there's something else that I'm focused on at the moment. Something that has a stronger pull on my interests at that time. So it would be easier, but I know I don't want that. And so, because I don't want that, I have to unlearn the guilt and the shame of not accomplishing things at the same pace and speed as other people. That is very much easier said than done. While I was embroidering this, I was watching a Bailey J video, I think one of her more recent ones, about how she was feeling aimless and how she often feels like this whenever she is kind of like in that limbo stage of like having a product drop and like waiting to receive the products, but also like a release hasn't just happened, so it's kind of in that waiting period and things like that, and just kind of not knowing what to do, even though you have these clear things you want to get done. It's just not always either knowing or having the courage to take those steps. Because, like, for me, I know what needs to be done, but it's also so overwhelming. I have all these excuses and all these fears in my head that it just paralyzes me, you know? But stopping and, like, having hiatuses does not equal failure. And I think I need to stop planning and just do it and ride the waves of my hyperfixations and my new hobbies. Ride the waves of when I work on things and when I don't work on things. Just go with the flow, more or less. Because when I do get stuck on a new idea in a project, things get pushed to the side. But I'm chasing the dopamine, and that's not always a bad thing. It's often viewed with this like negative connotation because sometimes you quit whenever the dopamine isn't always readily there. But also, we need dopamine in our life. We need happiness in our life. And what is the harm in just going after things that make you happy? Especially as a multi-passionate person, I feel like that is a big part of it. You love so much, you enjoy so many different things bring you happiness that to other people it will look like you're just chasing things and picking things up and putting things down and stopping when it gets hard or whatever. But you're just enjoying life and you're just enjoying the things that you enjoy. And I'm perfectly content with that. It's just whenever the idea of other people looking in on what I'm doing that I get uncomfortable and I get a little squeamish. Like if I was just a one-track mind and I was just focused on learning Korean or making amazing embroidery, I would be missing out on so many different things that I enjoy. I'd be missing out on so many different crafts, so many different mediums. I'd be missing out on so many different like niche interests. Like if I didn't have K-pop, oh my goodness. I'd be missing out on so much. Or if I didn't have books, or I didn't have my little collections of like all my little trinkets. No, I definitely don't want that. I don't want a one-track mind. Being multi-passionate is so beautiful. It's just tough because we're not in a multi-passionate world. But why can't we be? I know I'm not the only one. There's so many of us out there. So why can't we start creating our own multi-passionate worlds? Sometimes when I'm talking, I feel like I'm just like my own little self-help book. And I do enjoy a good self-help book every now and again. Just because they like, even if they're reminding you of like the things you already know, it's good to have those reminders at least for a little bit. And I feel like I've had this conversation before with myself of unlearning the stuff that society deems is good and worthy and isn't actually beneficial to me at all. And I'll probably have this conversation with myself again, and I'll view the thoughts that I'm having as groundbreaking, and then I'll forget them. Or maybe this time it'll actually stick. Who knows? But we're on this earth to learn and grow and evolve. And sometimes that does mean learning the same thing over and over again. So I hope I don't sound preachy or like a self-help book, even though I kind of sound like one to me. I'm mostly talking to myself. You know, I need this reminder. Being multi-passionate does not have to be overwhelming with all these goals and ideas. I think the biggest thing that would help me is accepting and embracing slow living. Like, one thing that embroidery has taught me so much, and I've gotten so much better at, is the creation of slow art and not having something done in a day or two. Like, this piece has taken me, I mean, I've been working on it for months, but like, if we take the actual time that I've spent embroidering and not just like it's been sitting in a work in progress state, it's at least like, I don't know, I haven't tracked fully. But we have at least an hour and a half, if not 2 hours, of W.I.P and Chats together. Maybe closer to an hour and a half. I don't know. But that's... And then we've done like a quarter, if not I don't know. I'm not good with fractions. But we haven't done a lot of it. I'd say I've probably worked 10 hours on this piece. Versus like some drawing and finishing it in like an hour or two and calling that good. I've learned to just not really accept the journey. I'm not really enjoying the journey, but like just like not being hard on myself when things aren't taking as long. And so I've learned that with my embroidery. I don't feel guilty for how long my embroidery takes. It is what it is. And that is growth that I've seen in myself. And now I just have to like move that to the other parts of my other hobbies. I need to move that to my language learning and my writing and my other crafts and just all my other things. Because if I'm gonna continue to be multi-passionate, which we've already decided, I would not be happy as a one-track mind. No. I have to learn to accept the progress as I can do it. Because finding time for it all is just not possible. I have a full-time job outside of all this other stuff. And sometimes that full-time job drains me to where I can't do anything when I get home. Can't do anything other than like lay there and watch a movie or play some Minecraft. I just got to learn to accept the flow and enjoy and continue to enjoy the excitement of finding new hobbies and new hyperfixations. Because the more that arsenal grows, probably the longer it'll be in between progress for all the others. But just like a merry-go-round, it will always come back around. And sometimes I can use my current interest to get other things done. Like right now, I'm really interested in filming videos and like coming up with the video ideas and editing them and filming them and just this whole process. And look how much progress I've gotten done on this embroidery out of 2 videos. You know? I've needed to be doing this. I've needed to work on this. But 1, it's been daunting. And 2, my hyper focus and my interests have been in other places and not necessarily embroidery all the time. And so I haven't been making as much progress as I would have. But look how much progress we got done. And like I said at the beginning of this video, now I'm super interested in finishing this because it's coming along. And I've used my wanting to make videos to help with that. One thing I'm wanting to do is make writing vlogs and like writing updates videos, obviously, but to help with getting back into writing and stuff like that, because my brain is primed and ready to go back into the writing world. But it's still kind of in that's a little too daunting type of moment. But next month, April, is Camp NaNoWriMo. And so that's like a perfect time to jump into it. Because even if I'm not working on it always and I'm not working on it for forever, I can work on it in the month of April. And then there's another Camp NaNoWriMo in July. And then there's the full-on actual NaNoWriMo, which, if you don't know what I'm talking about, NaNoWriMo stands for National Novel Writing Month, and it happens every November. And essentially, you're trying to write a book within a month. A first draft, obviously, not a finished book that can go out into the world. But you're writing 50,000 words in a month. Now, the camps, like Camp NaNoWriMo in April and July, they're not as strict. You can kind of make your own goal and kind of just do whatever you want. You can make it the 50,000 word thing, but I'm definitely not going to do that. And it's just kind of a way to like get super involved with the writing community and have all these people cheering you on and writing together, and it's really fun. And so even if I just work on my book those 3 months out of the year, I worked on it 3 months. That I probably wouldn't have if I kept holding myself back with the mindset of, you stopped this, that means you're a failure, you haven't made as much progress as someone else, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So I'm really excited to do that. I'm going to try to do it. And I think I'm there, because I think I'm ready. But I can use videos to help make that happen. Being a multi-passionate person, I can't look at the whole image of all these different things I want to do, because then that just puts me into paralyzing fear. If I'm looking at having a completed book, having a super successful embroidery business, having amazing editing and amazing video quality and video ideas for YouTube and like being super fluent in Korean, like having all of those things like side by side, it's like, whoa, that's too much. I can't do any of that. I'm not even close to any of that. But if it's like just writing next month for camp, whatever you can, and then there's 2 more camps, or 1 more camp and then another NaNoWriMo that I could work on. Okay, cool. Way more easier. And then like looking at the videos, my videos have improved. I'm making videos that I want to watch. So, good. I'm not saying I can't improve, but like improving little bits here and there, making editing sharper, finding better topics, knowing what's a good video idea and what's kind of a meh video idea, you know? Super successful business. I signed up for Handmade Alphas, which is it's a business coaching thingy from Star Lamore. They have a YouTube channel here, and they're really great. And just working on the first section of that program, you know? I can do that super easy. And it may take me a while to get through all those little steps, but progress is progress. Even if the progress is far apart from each other, it's progress. Talking this out has made me feel so much better. Like, it's just coming into this topic, I was like, yeah, this is overwhelming. Like, I enjoy all these things that I enjoy and I don't want to stop, but like, I'm not doing it. I'm not being the person I want to be, but I am, because I am doing all the things. It's not all at once, but I'm not stopping. And one thing I think I can let go of is the things that I think are goals, but are just actually ideas that sound super cool. Like, it would be cool to get this done. Like, an example would be, I think it'd be so cool to get really good at photography. I think it'd be so cool. But also, I think that's just something that would be cool. That's not an actual goal I want to work towards. I'm perfectly content with the photos I do. And I'm okay with looking at other people's. The same with like dance. I really enjoy watching people dance. I find dance so amazing. And oftentimes I have thought that, oh, that's a goal of mine, is to get really good at dance. I don't think it is an actual goal of mine. I think it's just something I think would be super cool to do and to accomplish. And so, like, differentiating those and kind of letting the things that are just kind of cool ideas to just kind of be cool ideas and not things I have to work towards ever. I can just admire them. Because just because you like something doesn't mean you have to do it. We're about to fall onto a very scary moment during this embroidery process. Watch this.
Community. I spent many years studying writing. I have.
Oh no. Where'd the needle go? Threw it. Where'd it go?
Wisdom and advice to other people about
there it is.
Being a
This is in my shirt.
Okay.
Personally, don't really get.
Worst fear of all time. The embroidery needle fell, and I knew it fell into my lap. And as I was looking for it, I was just like waiting for it to stab me. And it was stuck in my shirt, like it was poking in, but it wasn't touching me. But yeah. There's been so many times when I drop my needle and it doesn't land on me, it lands on the floor, and I'm like, well, I am barefoot right now. I cannot see that needle. Hopefully my foot does not find it before my eyes do. Terrifying. But, like I was saying before, just because I enjoy something doesn't mean I have to make it reality for myself. I can just admire it. And I think dividing the actual goals from just the things I think would be cool is going to really help with that. Because then it'll be like, okay, I don't actually have 25 million goals. I have 5. And all the other things are just things I think would be cool. Like beatboxing. That'd be so cool. Have I ever beatboxed in my life? No. Probably never going to. But that'd be so cool. Embroidery and having an embroidery shop do well, that is definitely a goal. That is definitely something I strive towards and want to work towards and actually want to work hard for. Even if it's not all the time, that's life. Right now, my hyperfixation is not necessarily helpful to getting any of my other goals done, but it is the Disney Collect app, which is just like a digital trading card service thing. It's actually by Disney. It's not like some like weird third-party ad farm type thing. It's an actual app, but like I love trading cards. A lot of my life is surrounded by trading cards, whether it's Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Disney's Larkana, and different things like that. So I was like, I saw this app in the store, the app store, and I was like, okay, you know what? I'll give it a try. I'll see what it's about. Because I've seen it a bunch of times, but I've never like gone for it. But now that I have, I'm kind of like super into it. So my current interest doesn't necessarily help me get my past goals done, which is a little bit of a bummer, but it's okay. We're just rocking with it, and I'll enjoy it for as long as I enjoy it, and that will be that. I'll just accept and go with the flow, because it's not going to be forever. We're coming up on the end of this embroidery thing, which is good, because I've kind of run out of things to talk about. Hopefully I haven't talked in circles too much. So I have a feeling that I'm going to finish this embroidery before our next W.I.P and Chat. So our next W.I.P and Chat, I'll probably be on a different project, which is kind of new and exciting. But I'll definitely like do a little short, or you'll just have to go to my Instagram, Wildflower Pet Embroidery, to see the finished result. And as you can see, it's very sparse. Doesn't look like a lot of progress has been done, but we're getting there. And I appreciate you so much for spending time with me, whether you're embroidering alongside me or you're just like here for the ride, listening to me ramble. I mean, I guess you also could have just muted me and just watched it without any volume, which is perfectly fine too. You do you. I'm just happy you're enjoying the embroidery, you know? But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna pop in a little clip of a close-up. I filmed this after I finished this, so it'll look the same, but you'll get to see a close-up of the progress we actually did. So, I'll see you in another video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!